Success always begins with a question far deeper than, what do I want? It begins with, why do I want it? Most people chase success the way children chase moving shadows, running endlessly without ever getting closer. They focus on the outcome, the reward, the applause, the finish line. But success does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you become while pursuing it. The law of attraction is not a trick or a shortcut. It is a philosophy that begins with understanding the emotional engine driving your desires. Because when your reason is unclear, your results will always be uncertain. Think about the times you wanted something because others had it. A job title that sounded impressive, a lifestyle that looked glamorous, a goal that society praised. You may have worked hard for it, but something inside felt misaligned. That quiet emotion, the sense that it wasn't truly yours, dilutes your attraction, weakens your focus, and breaks the connection between desire and manifestation. The law of attraction only amplifies what is authentically rooted in your heart. If your intention isn't anchored in meaning, then no amount of vision boards or positive affirmations will bring it into your life. The reason behind your desire for success is the compass that directs the energy you release into the world. When your why is shallow, your motivation is fragile. But when your why is deep, personal, and connected to something larger than yourself, your entire being begins to move in harmony. Suddenly, your thoughts start aligning with your values. Your emotions begin supporting your behavior. Your behavior becomes consistent instead of forced. Consistency becomes ease, ease becomes belief, and belief becomes attraction. There is something powerful about understanding the origin of your desire. When a person wants success to prove someone wrong, the motivation is born from insecurity. Insecurity attracts fear, and fear attracts limitation. But when a person wants success so they can grow, contribute, lead, or uplift the people around them, that desire carries a different energy, an energy that draws clarity, opportunity, and momentum. The law of attraction responds to the purity of intention much more than the intensity of effort. Success becomes magnetic when it comes from a place of purpose. Purpose carries a frequency that others can feel even before you speak it. You've experienced this before. When you meet someone who knows exactly what they stand for, their presence feels grounded, their decisions feel intentional, their goals make sense. They walk with a direction that seems invisible to everyone except them. This is what happens when a person understands their why. They stop trying to convince the world. Instead, the world becomes naturally drawn to them. There is a hidden truth about success that most people miss. The universe does not respond to the words you say. It responds to the intention behind them. You can say, "I want success." Yet if your reasons are rooted in fear, doubt, or scarcity, you are subconsciously attracting more fear, doubt, and scarcity. But if your desire is rooted in growth, contribution, creativity, or courage, then your emotional state matches the frequency of success. And when emotions match intentions, the law of attraction becomes a natural consequence, not a forced process. To attract success, you must sit with yourself long enough to ask the uncomfortable questions. Why do I want this? Is it truly mine, or is it borrowed from someone else's expectations? Would I still want it if no one applauded? If no one admired me? If no one validated it? These questions strip away ego and reveal truth. And when your truth becomes clear, your path becomes clear. That clarity is what activates the law of attraction. When you understand the purpose behind your desires, you stop chasing outcomes and start attracting alignment. Your focus sharpens, your energy becomes intentional, decisions become easier, you no longer struggle to stay motivated because purpose fuels you more deeply than motivation ever could. Motivation is emotional caffeine, it wakes you up for a moment. Purpose is oxygen, it sustains you consistently. Think of success as a relationship. Like any relationship, the quality of the connection depends on honesty. If you lie to yourself about your reasons, You create a weak bond with your own goals. But if you are honest about why something matters to you, that honesty becomes a rope that pulls you forward even when the path is unclear. You begin operating from authenticity instead of ambition, and authenticity is one of the strongest forms of attraction the universe recognizes. When your why is strong, you stop trying to force success to happen. Instead, you create conditions where success feels welcome. You begin moving with conviction. You start taking actions that align with your values. You build routines that support your growth. You choose environments that nurture your goals. Slowly, success stops being a distant wish. It becomes a natural extension of who you are becoming. Success, at its core, is not attracted by talent, luck, or hard work alone. It is attracted by clarity of purpose. When you know why you want success deeply, honestly, courageously, you unlock the emotional alignment that the law of attraction requires. And from that alignment, everything else becomes possible. Belief is the birthplace of attraction. It is the quiet force that shapes our thoughts long before they shape our reality. Most people think they need to see proof before they can believe in something, but that mindset closes the very door they are trying to open. The law of attraction responds not to what exists in front of you, but to the conviction you hold within you. When you choose to believe before you see, you are sending a message to the universe and to yourself that you are ready to become the kind of person who attracts what you desire. There is a moment in every journey when you must decide whether you will trust your vision or surrender to your circumstances. This decision determines the direction of your life far more than your talent, intelligence, or resources ever will. When people wait for signs, guarantees, or confirmations before committing, they paralyze their own progress. But those who believe first, who step into the unknown with intention and courage, unlock opportunities that would remain invisible to the hesitant. Belief is not blind optimism. It is not pretending everything is perfect. It is the decision to anchor your identity in possibility rather than limitation. It is choosing to act as if your future is already unfolding in your favor, even when your current environment shows no evidence of it. When you operate from that mindset, you begin to behave differently. You speak with more confidence. You take bolder steps. You stop doubting your worth and begin living as if the outcome is inevitable. That shift changes everything. The law of attraction works through alignment. Your belief shapes your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your outcomes. When belief is weak, your energy becomes scattered. You hesitate, overthink, and second-guess yourself. That uncertainty pushes the things you want further away. But when belief is strong, your energy becomes coherent. You focus more clearly, you move with purpose, you act from conviction instead of fear. That clarity pulls opportunities toward you with surprising speed. Every great achievement begins long before the rest of the world sees it. It starts in the quiet moments when someone chooses to trust a possibility only they can feel. That internal belief becomes the compass that keeps them moving when obstacles appear. Without belief, challenges feel like signs to give up. With belief, challenges become steps on the path. Belief transforms adversity from a barrier into a building block. Many people misunderstand belief as something that magically appears. They think it's a feeling that arrives when conditions are favorable. But belief is not found, it is built. You build belief every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you follow through on a commitment, every time you choose discipline over distraction. Belief grows through integrity with your actions. Integrity with your values, integrity with the future you claim to be working toward. When your behavior supports your vision, belief becomes a natural echo of your actions. There's something magnetic about a person who believes in their path. Others may doubt them, question them, or misunderstand them, but you can feel their certainty. They walk differently. They speak differently. They carry a presence that doesn't need approval to feel legitimate. That kind of belief doesn't just attract success, it inspires it. People want to support someone who believes deeply in where they are going. The world gravitates toward conviction, but the opposite is also true. When your belief wavers, the universe reflects that back to you. You attract delays, confusion, and inconsistency because your energy is inconsistent. The law of attraction does not respond to the words you say. It responds to the frequency you emit. If you say you want something but emotionally anticipate disappointment, you send mixed signals. It's like wanting to climb a mountain but staring only at the rocks that might trip you. The mountain doesn't move until your mindset does. To attract success, belief must become your emotional home. Even when progress is slow, even when the results are invisible, even when others tell you to be realistic. Realistic thinking is often another word for inherited doubt. Visionary thinking is belief in motion. It is the courage to hold onto a future that feels more real in your heart than in your surroundings. Belief is also an act of self-respect. When you believe in your potential, you are honoring the possibility within you. When you dismiss your dreams, you dishonor your own capacity to grow. The law of attraction responds to how you treat yourself. If you believe you deserve success, you make decisions that reflect that belief. You set boundaries. You take risks. You invest in your growth. You choose environments that elevate you. You move as if your future matters. And when you move that way, life responds accordingly. Think of belief as a signal you broadcast to the world. When your signal is strong, clear, and unwavering, the right circumstances begin tuning into you. People, ideas, opportunities, they all begin aligning with the frequency you hold. When you weaken the signal with doubt, the connection becomes unstable. But when you strengthen it with conviction, the universe mirrors that certainty. Belief before seeing is the essence of attraction. It is the agreement you make with your future self, the version of you who is already living the life you want. When you choose to believe first, you step into that identity now. And once you embody that identity, success no longer feels like something you chase. It becomes something you naturally attract. Attraction is not a single action. It is not a thought you repeat or a vision you imagine once in a while. Attraction is alignment. It is the quiet harmony between what you think, what you say, and what you consistently do. Most people don't struggle because they lack desire. They struggle because their desire, their words, and their actions exist in different worlds. They want success, but their mindset is filled with doubt. They talk confidently, but their behavior is hesitant. They take action, but their words contradict their intentions. This misalignment creates noise, internal noise, and that noise blocks the very things they are trying to attract. Think about it like a radio signal. If you tune the dial even slightly off the right frequency, the station becomes static. The message becomes unclear, and that is exactly what happens when your thoughts, words, and actions are not in sync. You may want success, but you are broadcasting an inconsistent signal. The law of attraction responds to clarity, not confusion. It brings you what you are aligned with, not what you claim to want. Your thoughts are the architects of your future, but they become powerless if your words dismantle what your mind is trying to build. You can think optimistic thoughts, but if your speech is filled with fear, complaint, or negativity, the energy you send into the world contradicts the energy you hope to receive. And the universe responds to your dominant vibration, not your temporary wishes. The same is true with your actions. You can talk about big dreams all day. You can write them down, visualize them, create vision boards, and repeat affirmations. But if your actions do not reflect the identity of the person who would naturally achieve those dreams, the attraction weakens. The law of attraction is not simply about wanting, it is about becoming. The universe does not give you what you ask for, it gives you what you consistently embody. Alignment is the bridge between desire and manifestation. When your thoughts support your words and your words support your actions, you create a straight line of intention. That line becomes magnetic. It becomes powerful. It becomes a force that not only directs your life, but invites the world to meet you halfway. People often underestimate how much their everyday behavior influences their attraction. They think attraction happens only in meditation, journaling, or visualization. But the strongest form of attraction is how you show up in your daily life. Do your habits match your goals? Does your environment support your mindset? Do your choices reflect the future you claim to want? Every small decision is a vote for the person you are trying to become, or the person you are trying to avoid becoming. When alignment is missing, life feels heavy. You feel stuck, confused, burned out, or disconnected. Not because you are incapable, but because you are moving in too many directions at once. You may be thinking one thing, saying another, and doing something entirely different. That internal conflict drains your energy and slows your progress, but when alignment is present, life feels lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Opportunities seem to appear more often. You begin attracting relationships, environments, and ideas that match your internal state. There is something incredibly powerful about a person whose inner world matches their outer behavior. You can feel it. They are authentic in a way that is almost magnetic. Their presence feels grounded because there is no contradiction inside them. They think with clarity, they speak with intention, they act with purpose, and because of that, they attract experiences that match their integrity. The law of attraction thrives in environments of authenticity. Alignment also protects you from self-sabotage. The reason many people sabotage their own progress is not because they lack discipline. It is because they are out of alignment. When your actions contradict your beliefs, your mind resists progress. When your words contradict your desires, your energy becomes conflicted. When your thoughts contradict your behavior, you unconsciously pull yourself back to what feels familiar. But when everything aligns, self-sabotage disappears because your entire being is moving in one direction. Attraction is not a matter of effort, it is a matter of coherence. When your internal world and external world tell the same story, that story becomes your reality. Success becomes less about pushing and more about allowing. You stop questioning whether you are worthy. You stop doubting whether your dreams are possible. You stop negotiating with your own potential. When your thoughts, words, and actions align, success no longer feels like something you chase. It feels like something you resonate with. Alignment is also a form of respect, self-respect. When you align your behavior with your deepest intentions, you are telling yourself that your dreams matter. When you speak with intention, you are honoring your own potential. When you choose thoughts that empower you rather than weaken you, you are affirming your own worthiness. The law of attraction is deeply influenced by how you treat yourself. If you live in alignment, you send a powerful message, I am ready. And when you are ready, truly ready, opportunities begin to respond, people begin to respond, ideas begin to respond. Life begins to respond. When thought, word, and action become one, attraction becomes inevitable. It stops being something mysterious or magical and becomes something practical and deeply human. Because alignment is not only the secret to attracting success, it is the foundation for living a life that feels meaningful, purposeful, and fully your own. Visualization is not about escaping reality, it is about preparing yourself to meet it. The future is shaped long before it arrives, and the people who attract success understand that their imagination is not a place for fantasy. It is a rehearsal space for destiny. When you close your eyes and see the life you want with clarity, you are not pretending, you are aligning. You are giving your mind a map, and the mind loves maps. It looks for paths, it looks for patterns. It looks for ways to turn possibility into something physical, but visualization alone is never enough. The trap many people fall into is believing that imagining a better future eliminates the need to act in the present. They think attraction is about hoping, wishing, or dreaming. They treat the future like a lottery ticket rather than a responsibility. The truth is that the future only becomes real when the present is honored. Visualization builds the blueprint, but action builds the structure. Without action, your dreams stay trapped in the realm of imagination. Without imagination, your actions lack direction. You need both for the law of attraction to function at its fullest power. There's something extraordinary about the mind's ability to believe what it repeatedly sees. When you visualize your future consistently, you are training your subconscious to accept that future as normal. And the moment something feels normal, you stop fearing it, you stop doubting it, you stop thinking it is too big for someone like you. It becomes familiar even if it hasn't happened yet, and familiar things are easier to pursue. They feel safe. They feel possible. Success is attracted to people who treat the future like it already belongs to them. Not in a delusional way, there's a difference, but in a grounded, emotionally mature way. When you visualize clearly and act consistently, you develop a quiet confidence. Not arrogance, not entitlement, confidence. The kind of confidence that comes from alignment between your inner world and your outer world. This confidence is magnetic. Opportunities respond to it, people respond to it, life responds to it. Visualization also helps you overcome fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty. When the future looks blurry, fear fills the empty space. It imagines the worst-case scenarios, it whispers doubts, it convinces you that the unknown is dangerous. But when you paint a vivid picture of your future, one filled with purpose, meaning, and intention, you replace uncertainty with clarity. Clarity dissolves fear, and when fear is weakened, action becomes easier. Still, visualization alone will never replace action. Seeing the future is only half the work. You must also move toward it. You must show the universe that your intentions are supported by your behavior. We attract what we are ready for, not what we casually wish for, and readiness is demonstrated through consistent, intentional action in the present moment. Every small choice you make is a message. When you choose discipline over comfort, you send a message. When you choose growth over avoidance, you send a message. When you choose courage over hesitation, you send a message. These messages accumulate. They become evidence that you are serious about the future you keep visualizing. The universe does not respond to occasional effort. It responds to identity, and identity is built through repetitive action. When your actions reflect the future you claim to desire, you step into alignment with that future. You begin behaving as the person who naturally attracts it. This is why acting in the present is so important. It connects the dream with the day, the vision with the effort, the future with the now. People often say they are waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right sign, but the truth is that clarity comes from action, not waiting. The more you act, the clearer the path becomes. You meet people you wouldn't have met. You discover strengths you didn't know you had. You uncover ideas you never would have imagined. Momentum reveals what stillness cannot. Visualization prepares your mind. Action prepares your life. When the mind and life are aligned, attraction becomes inevitable. There is also something sacred about committing to small, daily actions. We often underestimate the power of the simple things, writing for 10 minutes, practicing for 20 minutes. Learning something new for 15, these tiny habits compound, they build identity, they create confidence. They connect you to the future you're visualizing, and the universe responds to consistency far more than intensity. When you visualize the future and act in the present, you transform from a dreamer into a creator. You stop living reactively. You stop waiting for life to give you permission. You begin shaping your path with intention. You begin treating your future like a responsibility rather than a fantasy. You begin showing up as the person you want to become, not the person you used to be. The law of attraction responds to alignment. When your imagination looks forward and your actions move forward, the world begins to align with you. Doors open, people show up, resources appear, not because they were never there, but because you finally became the version of yourself who could see them. The future is attracted to those who live like it is already on its way. You visualize so your mind can believe. Success is rarely a solo journey. We often imagine it as the product of our own discipline, our own ambition, and our own willpower, but the truth is far more complex. Who you surround yourself with shapes who you become. The people in your life influence your mindset, your decisions, your energy, and ultimately, your future. The law of attraction is not just about what you focus on internally. It's also about what you allow into your environment externally. Every person you keep close either reinforces your potential or reinforces your limitations. And most people never realize how much their surroundings dilute or amplify their ability to attract success. Human beings are emotional sponges. We absorb the energy around us, whether we notice it or not. When you are surrounded by people who complain constantly, you begin to feel the weight of negativity, even if you never speak a word of complaint yourself. When you spend time with those who doubt themselves, you may start doubting your own abilities. When you stay close to individuals who fear change, you start resisting change too. It happens quietly, slowly, invisibly, and by the time you notice it, the damage has already begun. You start thinking smaller, you start moving slower, you start shrinking your vision so it fits the comfort of the people around you. But the opposite is also true. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you, uplift you, and expect more from you, you begin to rise. You think bigger, you act bolder, you make decisions that reflect growth rather than safety. Their energy becomes a mirror of the future you want to build. Their optimism fuels your determination. Their ambition strengthens your courage. The law of attraction becomes far more powerful when your environment reflects the same frequency as your vision. It's not about finding perfect people. It's about finding people whose presence aligns with your future, not your past. Many people stay connected to relationships that feel familiar rather than relationships that feel empowering. Familiarity is comforting, but comfort is often the enemy of growth. Sometimes we hold on to certain people because we fear the loneliness that might come with leaving them behind. But growth requires a level of emotional courage not just to move forward, but to outgrow environments that no longer support us. You cannot attract a life of abundance while staying loyal to a mindset of scarcity. Every environment carries its own emotional gravity. Some environments pull you upward, others pull you downward, and some keep you stuck exactly where you are. If you spend your days around people who settle, you eventually settle. If you spend them around people who strive, you eventually strive. If you spend them around people who believe deeply in what's possible, you begin believing in what's possible too. This is why aligning yourself with the right energy is not selfish, it's essential. Your dreams require space to breathe. Your potential requires people who can see it. Your goals require an environment that nurtures both your ambition and your well-being. Success is not attracted to confusion or contradiction. It is attracted to clarity, and clarity is difficult to maintain in an environment full of noise, doubt, or unspoken jealousy. When you make the decision to choose environments that elevate you, something powerful happens. You begin to adopt a new identity. You begin seeing yourself differently. You begin talking about your goals with more conviction. You feel more supported, more capable, more aligned. You start becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts success. Your mindset strengthens. Your habits improve. Your energy rises. This shift is not accidental. It is a result of intentional proximity. The law of attraction works through resonance. You attract what vibrates at the same frequency as your internal state. But your internal state is constantly influenced by the emotional climate around you. If you want to elevate your vibration, elevate your environment. Spend time with people who think about possibilities, not limitations. People who take responsibility, not excuses. People who focus on solutions, not problems. People who talk about ideas, not gossip. People who see opportunity where others see obstacles. And just as important as who you add to your life is who you release from it. Some people were meant to be chapters, not lifelong characters. Holding on to them out of duty or guilt keeps you tied to an older version of yourself. The universe cannot deliver new opportunities to someone who refuses to let go of old attachments. Letting go is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of alignment. You are not abandoning people, you are honoring your future. When your environment matches your intention, attraction becomes a natural consequence. The right people will remind you of who you are becoming, not who you used to be. They will inspire you when you feel tired. They will challenge you when you feel stuck. They will encourage you when you feel unsure. Their belief becomes fuel, their presence becomes momentum, their support becomes strength. Success is not only about what you do, it is also about who you choose to walk alongside. The law of attraction responds not only to your thoughts and actions, but to the energy of the people shaping your world. When you elevate your environment, you elevate your identity. When you elevate your identity, you elevate your life. And when your life rises, success cannot help but rise with it. You attract the future when you surround yourself with people who make that future feel inevitable. And the moment you commit to that environment, the universe begins rearranging itself to meet you where you are going.